Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. The city of Manawa is making residents aware of a possible fungal infection along the river that could impact you and your family's health. It's called blastomycosis.
This comes nearly 2 weeks since a dam embankment breach due to the heavy rainfall. In a health alert, Samantha Cavalli spoke with county health officials about the dangers of blastomycosis and what to do if you're infected.
Just behind me here is the still intact Manawa Dam on Thursday. Now, as the community continues to navigate this historic flooding, a potential new health risk could impact those living around the Little Wolf River. Blastomycosis is an infection you can get from a fungus that is found along shorelines of lakes and rivers with high moisture and rotting wood and leaves. Jed Wolt with the Wapaka County Department of Health says symptoms are similar to a number of respiratory issues. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services says some of the symptoms include fever or chills, cough, shortness of breath, chest or back pain, and more. In rare cases, blastomycosis can be deadly, but it is treatable with antifungal medicine. Wolt says this might be on people's minds because there is a history of blastomycosis cases linked to the Little Wolf River. In 2015, the DHS reported that 49 cases of blastomycosis, including one death, were associated with an outbreak on the river.
There have been incidents of blastomycosis on the Little Wolf, and so the flash flood potentially may cause some more incidents of it, but we don't know that. It's hard, like I said, it's hard to predict. We couldn't say whether it increase or decrease the likelihood of blastomycosis being present.
The DHS says to avoid getting sick, talk to your doctor about any of the symptoms. The city is also asking residents to avoid Mill Pond because it is unsafe at this time. Reporting in Manawa, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.